Hi, my name is Matt Turk. I'm a developer on YT, and this is a short screencast about how to get started developing. So now I have just run the install script, and you can see my username is new YT dev. So the first thing I'm going to do is activate my YT environment. So now I'm in the YT environment. To get started, we need to get a couple different settings set, and we're going to enable some useful utilities. And so to do that, I'm going to run YT bootstrap dev. Now first off, what it wants you to do is it wants to help out and make sure that you have a BitBucket username. Or I'm sorry, a Mercurial username. So my first name is Matthew, my last name is Turk, and my email address is vat@gmail.com. So now that it has put that into my .hgrc so that all of my commits have my username, or my full name, and my email address. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and it asks me if I have a BitBucket user. I in fact do, but if you don't, you can say no and it'll help you create one, or you can create one through the web, whatever you're most comfortable with. So I type yes, and I enter my username, which is Matthew Turk. And now it's going to add a couple different extensions to my Mercurial installation. So now the idea is that Mercurial has some core functionality, and then on top of that, additional extensions that help you out with things like using BitBucket, editing config files, and so on. So I'm just going to hit enter these two places, and it sets up my HGRC. And so now everything is all set up and I'm ready to start developing. But I don't even know where to start making changes to the source code. So there's this command, ytinst-info. So I run that, and if you take a look, it says that the YT module is located at that place. So I'm going to cd to that directory. Now first thing I want to do is I want to find a file to make a modification to. So why don't we make a modification to the README file. Here's the README. Now here at the bottom, let's just change this to say enjoy and have fun analyzing your data. Now I save that file, and now I can commit my change. Now commit is actually a fully local operation. Until you push your change set somewhere else, they're totally stored on your local machine. So I'm going to commit and add a bit of whimsy to the README file. And now I quit out. But now you can see that if I were to try to push, it wouldn't work. So in order to help out with that, we use the BitBucket fork setup. So here in my browser window, I'm at the YT BitBucket homepage, which is accessible from the YT homepage itself. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fork the repository. Forking here, we will call this README mods. And I don't need issue tracking or a wiki, and I don't really want to inherit the repository permissions. So I'll go ahead and fork. And now what it's doing is it's creating, under my username, a whole new repository with all the old changes into it. So now I can go back to my terminal window, and I can use a command that comes with YT, hg-add-source. So now what this does is it describes another place that we can push our changes to. So I'm going to add the URL for this new YT README mods, and I'm going to call it README fork. So now that's the alias by which it'll be known, and here's the URL. So now, if you type hgpaths, it says that it knows these two places that it can push to. So why don't we just go ahead and hgpush, and we say to the README fork directory. Now it says that it wants to put new remote heads on there, but that's okay. Because I'm just pushing to my own repository, I'm just going to force it. Type in your password, and it pushed there. So now if I take a look back over here, you can see that after I've reloaded, add a bit of whimsy to the README file is right there. We can go and we can view the diff. You can see that it's all right there. So now the next step in order to get things included in the main YT repository is to send a pull request. Just click on Send Pull Request, add a title such as adding some nice changes to README. Then you can add in your description. Please include these changes because they are awesome. And you can then click on Create Pull Request. A notice will be sent out to everybody on the YT push privileges list, and then your pull request will be considered. Now, if we go back and forth and ask for some more changes, just because it might need some stylistic changes or something, that doesn't mean we aren't eager for your changes. So please go ahead and submit pull requests. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I hope that this has helped out.